Time for the KSL In-Depth. Some very scary new information's just come out about that attempted rape on the campus of Salt Lake Community College today. Police say the man who grabbed an 18-year-old student inside the women's locker room had planned the attack and waited an hour and a half for the opportunity. Our executive producer, Dave Cawley, has the new details from the jail booking documents. He's with me live now in the studio, so this doesn't sound like a simple case here. This was well thought out.
Yeah, right. And state troopers are saying the suspect in this case, Timothy Wyatt, really had no business even being on the campus. He's not a student. He doesn't work there. But apparently what they say happened is he went into that locker room, was waiting, as you mentioned, about an hour and a half. In the meantime, he had put tape over the motion sensor on the light switch. I don't know if you've seen those light switches that have the little sensor, so when you walk in the room, the lights automatically come on.
But they didn't in this case.
Right, so he blocked it over. So you can imagine this room. It's all dark. The woman, an 18-year-old student, goes in there. Suddenly, a guy wearing latex gloves grabs her from behind, puts his hand over his mouth, and the victim here did something amazing. She bit him on the arm, elbowed him in the chest, and got enough space to break free and run. And that's really what made the difference between this being an attempted rape versus an actual
a
rape.
snap reaction that in essence saved her from the situation. Well, how's the victim doing now?
So the latest word we have is that she did come away with some injuries. Injuries on her arm, bruising on her face, a large cut, in fact, on one of her arms. So it wasn't like it was a clean getaway. You can just imagine what a horrible, terrible situation to find yourself in, but she fought her way out. These injuries, obviously, minor compared to what could have happened.
So the experts have a lot of advice when you're in a situation, but I don't think any of the advice necessarily applies to something as weird and off and terrible as this.
You know, stranger rapes are very rare, is what we hear from folks like at the Utah Rape Recovery Center. We've reached out to the Utah Coalition Against Sexual Violence for some prevention information, some tips. And I think what we're likely to hear is exactly what happened here. Fight back. Do not be a passive victim in these kinds of cases. And, you know, this woman getting away led to witnesses seeing the suspect, Mr. Timothy Wyatt, running out to his car through a back door that he had propped open. They got license plate, and that's what ultimately led to his just being arrested here.
Well, thank goodness she's going to be okay. Thanks a lot, Dave Cawley. You've been listening to the In-Depth at 15 and 45.